Well, it's 5:41 in the morning, and we've got our punctual day shift driver who's going to be there in 20 minutes, so I've got to go fuel up. And I've also got to make a stop at the bank. Oh, you're coming this way? Next time, use a turn signal. Good God, I hate that. When people don't use a turn signal to show that they're turning. So it's been a busy night. It's mostly short trips, and one right after another, mostly short trips. I've got about 350, between 350 and 400 on. I haven't counted everything yet. Don't know if I will. It's a lot of indirects, and I had 300 and yeah, I had a lot of indirects. Yeah, I got about 350 on, so whatever. It's always busy these days. Always busy. We're still short-staffed. You know the story. So I'm exhausted and cranky and in a bad mood because I've had to rush and haven't had as much break time as I would have liked. Because I'm basically lazy. I don't want to work hard. Yeah, well, that was it. Sunday night. I'll be back for 4 more nights in a row. Time is now 3:48 a.m. I have $326 on. 306 of it is not cash. So I have $20 in cash. The rest of it is all Interac slips, and there's $20 in gift certificates. And that's the way things have been going. Not so much cash anymore. The way it looks, I won't be making a bank deposit this morning. But I've got more than enough Interac and credit card and everything else from last night and tonight to pay the lease for the week and then some. And then I'll receive a check next week to deposit in the bank. Tonight, it was busy. When I first started, it was busy, and I was doing one right after another until midnight. One right after another, non-stop driving. Go, 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 go. Mostly short trips. Then I had a break for about an hour. I was asleep. And then I received a call to take someone out to the Western Communities. And as soon as I was out there and dropped off, I was sent on another call in the Western Communities to bring somebody back into town. So that's not bad. That's about $60 right there. 2 trips in a row. Boom, boom. 30-30. Then, after dropping that last guy off, I went to sleep for another hour and a bit. And then I was awakened by a call on some street I never heard of. So I rejected it. And it says, "You have rejected a trip that was designated for you. Contact base if this was in error." And so I contacted the base, and I asked them, "Can't you find somebody else to do this?" And the guy said, "No." Dispatcher said, "No. There are only 2 cars on the board at the moment. You at Uptown and another car downtown. Everybody else is on break or in one way or another, not available. I said, okay, so give it to me again. I'll go get it. As soon as I figure out where this street is. So I figured out where it was. And I called the guy and told him, hey, you know, I got your call, but it's going to take me a little while to get out there. He said, that's okay. He had 3 hours lead time before his flight took off. His flight takes off 2 hours and 10 minutes from now. So that part worked out, I guess. And now I'm going to motor back into town and maybe go to sleep again. Or maybe start taking morning people to work. Basically 3 more nights to go this week. Okay, I'm just leaving the airport now. Just dropped off a customer. And his flight was canceled 2 days in a row. This is the 3rd day. Hopefully the 3rd day is the charm. And he's got a long flight. He's got 35 hours. First he flies from Victoria to Calgary. Then he flies from Calgary to Amsterdam. And then from Amsterdam he flies to Trondheim. And I believe that's in Norway, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, the night was quiet tonight. And here's how it started. I got my first call immediately, and it was only a couple blocks away. When I got there, I was pulling into the driveway, but I couldn't because there was a piece of luggage right in the middle of the driveway. So I backed out. And the guy comes out with some bags, and another taxi shows up right there. And he's coming the other direction. But he's able to he's closer to the curb on the side where the customer is, because I was coming at it from coming at the house from the other direction. Anyway, he just slipped in there, and the guy says, I called him first. So he ended up taking the other one, the other taxi that he called first, but that was late. He called me second, and I didn't get away. Then I had a slow night. It was a relatively slow night. I was doing about, well, I guess 1 trip an hour or so. Or I had 3 trips in the second hour. Yeah, I think I waited half an hour after that one no load. And I had 3 in a row. And then after that I was doing 1 trip an hour on average. I watched a fair amount of YouTube. I watched a lot of stuff from my whiskey channel. So I'm almost up to date on all my whiskey videos. And then I've got to watch everything that's on this channel, so that might take me another week. And then there's the other channel that I watch sometimes. I'm like 2 weeks behind on that one. That's the one where I don't produce any videos, but I just watch a lot of car-related and automotive videos. So anyway, the night was pretty slow, and my generous customer, who always pays me more than the fare, sometimes double, went for a ride to his friend's house and told me that he's low on cash, but he'll get me next time. That's the thing with regular customers. They do that to you. But this is the first time this guy did it. He says, you know I'm good for it. I said, yeah, I know. He says, I'll get you next time. Okay, you get me next time. And then, well, now I had a trip to the airport. I think it's still less than 200 what I got on, if you don't count what my generous customer owes me. So that's it for another night. Well, no, the time is only 3:20, so I could still make some money driving people to work in the morning. Well, 2 more nights to go after that. It has been a slow night. I spent much of the morning sleeping. I got about 200 on. And that, even though I did have a couple of longer trips in the $40 range. I've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've done 11 trips. And so now I'm just heading down to the car wash. I just woke up. This thing was trying to give me a trip 3 minutes before the end of my shift. Well, now I'm logged out. I'm done. You know the routine. Car wash, bank, detail the interior, fuel it, park it, you know. Ooh. 1 trip an hour on average. I did connect once or twice, but it's been really quiet. Is this a New Year thing? I don't know. It could be. Because last week was my busiest week ever. So maybe now we're paying for that? I couldn't tell you. Not much else to say. 1 more night to go. Time is now 5:43 on a Friday morning. I have $250 on, but that's only thanks to my very generous customer who went on 2 $24 rides. Each one he gave me $40 for. So if not for my regular generous customer, I would have like 170 on, which is not much. It was a slow night. It was quite a slow night. I watched some video. I watched a lot of video. And I went to sleep quite a bit. I'm well rested now at the end of my shift. I'm gonna just make my way back. Gonna fuel it and park it. That should be that. It's foggy. It's damp and foggy this morning. I'm glad the week is over. I'm always glad the week is over when I come to a Friday morning. And I look forward to a weekend. Not doing much. My mouth is a little sore on this side because I had 2 teeth pulled. Now, one of the teeth was giving me problems because it hurt. It hurt when I would bite on it a certain way, and it would be sensitive to temperature. Say I'd drink some cold water, it would I feel that more so than usual. That was the bottom tooth at the end. Now the top tooth at the end hurt too when I bite on it, and the two teeth were pulled. The bottom one was starting to rot, and it was rotting in between the roots, so you couldn't fix that with the tooth still in my mouth. The other tooth appeared to have nothing wrong with it, but on the other side of the mouth at the top, I was feeling something strange there. Something hard coming on the gum. Something hard. And it made no sense to me. Except that at the age of 57 years old, I'm having a wisdom tooth come in. Very slowly. And the top of it is peeking through the gum. Now on the other side where I had the teeth removed, farther out than the last tooth that was pulled on the top, the gum is kind of lumpy. And I'm thinking that it's possible that underneath that lump on my gum, there's another wisdom tooth coming in at the age of 57. Figure that one out. Just figure that one out. I hope yours is better than mine.